Hey there, this is Ducko from LowmanCentral.com and welcome to the Solo Root of Nightmares guide. This raid is labeled as an expert difficulty on our scale, so make sure you're ready to take on this difficult challenge. We will also be covering how to do damage on all three classes, as well as important information about them in each encounter. This guide was recorded with no seasonal mods in mind. Before heading into the guide, make sure to fully understand how mechanics of this raid work. Having raid armor is necessary and it will be a must-have in most encounters. Loadouts for each encounter and class will be listed in the description since damage meta usually changes every season. This guide is best experienced by using guides on our site since you'll be able to see the 3D model of the map while listening to it. Make sure to subscribe and like the video since we'll be dropping guides for all Lowmans in the game so you'll never miss them. Without further ado, let's get started with the first encounter. It's necessary to run 4 pieces of Root of Nightmares armor with the mod Release Recover in this encounter. This will provide you with free healing for the duration of the encounter, so you only have to worry about the mechanics. Since you are by yourself, you'll need to spawn the Tormentor and work on the nodes at the same time. To go as fast as you can, you'll need to understand how the nodes are ordered in each phase. Some of them will be the same in order always, and some of them are grouped and RNG based. Let's take a look at the first set of nodes as an example. The first node in the order is either going to be the left or the right one. Since those two are grouped, the remaining one will be the second in the order. So for example, if the first node is the right one, the second node will be the left one. The third node in this group is always going to be the third one in order. For all the node sets, the final will always stay the same. On our map, you can see the possible order for every node set. While you are doing the nodes, you'll also need to kill the scions that will spawn the Tormentor. The most efficient way of killing them is to kill them once you finish a node that's closest to them. An Eager-Edged Sword is a must-have in this encounter since you need to go fast. I'd advise using it on the first and final node set since there's a lot of space to cover. On the second and third node set, the nodes are close to each other, so it's not necessary, it will only slow you down. However, using Eager Edge to lock onto adds that are in higher position can be very useful in these node sets. Now let's talk about how to handle the Tormentors. You need to make them very low HP before the next node set starts, and once the next set begins, kill them. One of the best and most consistent weapons for this would be the Forerunner. Keep in mind the Tormentors will run away from you if you're not close to them. Be careful when you're too close to them since they can grab you and this will most likely kill you. Now let's look at the class specific information. For Warlocks, there is nothing special except that you should use Icarus Dash, which will make you go faster. For Hunters, you can use Golden Gun Super to kill the Scions through the bubble, which can help if you're slow. It's also extremely helpful on the first node set. For Titans, you can use Hammers of Soul Super to quickly melt and kill Tormentors, which can help if you need to spawn a second one. Once you wrap Cataclysm, you can head to Scission. Like the first encounter, running 4 pieces of Root of Nightmares armor with Release Recover is necessary. Unlike the first encounter, the order of the nodes in this one is always the same. It's necessary to know them so you're able to go as fast as you can. Let's take a look at the first floor as an example on how to properly run. Start on the first light node, which is on the right side. Cross to the left side and do the second light node. While you're on the left side, you'll grab the buff from the first darkness node and cross to the right to activate the second darkness node. Grab the light buff and go to the third light node. Re-grab the light buff and cross to the other side to do the fourth light node. Grab the darkness buff and do the third darkness node, which is on the same side. Re-grab darkness buff and cross to the right side in order to do the fourth darkness node. Grab the light buff and do the fifth light node. Re-grab the buff and cross to the left side to do the final light node. Grab the darkness buff and do the fifth darkness node, which is on the same side. Re-grab the darkness buff and cross to the right side to do the final darkness node. This strategy should be used on the other 2 floors as well. It doesn't matter on which side you start, we took light as the first just for explaining the rotation, it's all up to you. Once you finish the nodes, you'll have infinite time to clear the adds, so take your time. Now, let's look at the class specific information. For Warlocks, well skating is a must here since it makes you go extremely fast. Be careful if there are adds in the proximity since that will ruin the skate and waste your well. For Hunters, an obvious choice here is Shatter Skating. For Titans, using Lion's Ramparts and an Eager Edge Sword can make you easily cross from side to side. Once you clear all 3 floors, you can finally head to the first boss of the raid, Explicator of Planets. Before getting into the details, we're going to explain the general concept of solo Explicator. Each phase consists of 4 stages. Running, using an Eager Edge Sword to do the planet mechanic. Pre-damage setup, which would be picking up ammo on Warlock and Hunter and setting up the grapple point on Titan. Damage phase, the rotation that you follow based on the circumstances. And final stand. Let's take a look at the first phase, which will be running. This phase is split into 3 smaller phases which consist of the following: swapping the bottom planets, swapping the top planets, and swapping the middle planets. Now, let's talk about on how to swap the bottom planets, since you'll be doing that at the start of every phase. When the encounter starts, you'll need to proc a healing effect, which will be Restoration on Solar or Banner of War on Strand. You should also try to keep these effects up at all time, so you don't die and you can focus on the mechanics. Your goal is to kill the adds as quick as you can so the Centurions can spawn. There are 2 Centurions, one on the left and one on the right. Killing a Centurion will spawn 2 Colossi bosses on the corresponding side. You'll start by killing the left Centurion and go to the top left Colossus. Once you kill him, you'll be able to see the planets that you need to move on the left side. Remember or write down which are the odd ones out and start crossing to the top right side. While you're crossing, or when you arrive there, kill the remaining Centurion, which will spawn the right side Colossi. Before you kill the top right Colossus, you'll need to grab any of the top planets and instantly dunk it at the same spot. This is done so you can lose planetary affinity buff that lets you see the left side planets. Once you get rid of the buff, kill the top right Colossus. This will reveal the planets on the right side, which you should remember or quickly write down. By now, you know what planets need to be swapped on both sides, so go down to the bottom right Colossus, kill him, and grab the correct planet. Quickly cross to the bottom left side and dunk the planet in the correct spot. Once you dunk, grab the bottom left side planet and take it to the bottom right side. Dunk the planet in the correct spot and shoot the crux in the middle, which will stop the planetary shift. You have now successfully aligned the bottom planets. It's time to work on the top planets now, since we figured out which ones are the correct at the beginning of the phase. Start clearing adds, and you should clear them as fast as you can. Kill the Centurions, swap the top planets, and kill all the remaining Colossi. After this, you'll have all the planets in the correct spots, and now you should add clear as fast as you can, so you can dunk the middle planets. Once you're done with the middle planets, kill all the adds from middle. However, if you're on Titan, you should leave as many as you can. As soon as most of the adds are dead, swap to your ammo loadout and collect ammo around the arena. This is done since you'll be using Eager Edge to have enough time to solo swap the planets. Now it's damage time, and let's look at how these play out. For Warlocks, you will start with Merciless, and you should either begin the damage phase on the left or the right plate. You'll do a Phoenix dive and kill an ad with Merciless to proc Impetus and extend Restoration. Shoot Explicator until you have 1 ammo left, and after that kill another ad to proc Impetus again. By the time you're out of 2 mags of Merciless, slowly start moving towards the next plate and pop Well of Radiance between the remaining plates. While you're in the animation of popping the well, switch to the Rocket DPS loadout. Shoot a Wither Horde onto the boss and fire 2 Apex Rockets. Bait and Switch will be activated because of you dealing damage with Merciless not too long ago. Do an Icarus Dash, which will reload 1 more rocket into your mag and shoot it. Reload the rocket launcher and repeat this rotation, but the next time shoot the boss with a secondary to proc Bait and Switch again. If you're on a light plate, you should leave the well and proc Radiant because Focus Light doesn't work when inside of a Well of Radiance. Repeat the mechanics and do damage again. For Final Stand, you don't want to push it in the 3rd phase. Instead, you should leave him close to the threshold and collect ammo. You should also save your Well of Radiance for Final Stand. For Hunters, you will start with Merciless, and you should either begin the damage phase on the left or the right plate. Throw your healing nade, kill an ad with Knife Trick, and kill another ad with Merciless to proc Impetus, which will extend Restoration and Radiant. Shoot Explicator until you have 1 ammo left, and after that, kill another ad to proc Impetus again. By the time you're out of 2 mags of Merciless, slowly start moving towards the next plate, and swap to your rocket damage loadout. If your next plate is a dark plate, push the threshold with Golden Gun. If it's a light plate, do the rocket rotation normally, which is the following. Shoot Wither Horde, Secondary, and 2 rockets. Reload the rocket, and repeat this rotation until you have 2 rockets in the mag. It's also fine if you extend Radiant on the boss as well, since you can always do a dodge to get another Knife Trick back. For the final stand, you don't want to push it in the 3rd phase, instead, you should live in close to the threshold and collect ammo. Saving Golden Gun is not necessary to clear, but it can help with the final stand. Be extremely careful with the fire tornadoes that Explicator throws at you, because you can easily die to that when combined with ads shooting at you. For Titans, you want to kill ads and start building your Worm God Caress stacks, maxing out at 5. You shouldn't worry about refreshing this buff too much during damage. This is because ads group around Explicator and you will kill them while doing your damage rotation. Stand in front of the middle plate and place a grapple point with the navigator on a 45-degree angle above the Explicator. Swap to your damage loadout and do the following Strand Titan rotation. At the beginning of rotation, apply a debuff with Tractor Cannon. Shoot 1 round of shotgun, grapple to the point, and do the grapple melee attack. Repeat the shotgun melee attack 2 more times. You should ideally do 3 grapple melees per plate. While doing the rotation, there's a chance that you might get booped up in the air, either by Scions or Explicator himself. If this happens, you should go back to the plate that you're doing, apply Tractor, and continue doing damage. Repeat the rotation for the other 2 plates. In the 2nd or 3rd phase, you should push him to final stand. Once you cross the threshold, you should build the stacks up again until he becomes vulnerable. The final stand rotation is exactly the same as regular. Once you've cleared Explicator, you can finally make your way to the final God of Pain, Nezarec. Just like the Explicator, Nezarec can be analyzed down into 4 different stages during a phase. Running, doing the nodes and making refuge based on Nezarec's shoulders. Pre-damage setup, picking up ammo and doing a finisher if you're a Warlock. Damage phase, rotation that you'll be following to cook him. And final stand. Let's get started with the running phase. Just like the first encounter, nodes will have RNG, but only exception being the first on both light and dark. Since we explained earlier how RNG nodes function in the first encounter, we won't go over the details, but you can see the nodes in our map. It is extremely important to run Release Recover mod here for healing while running the nodes. You should also be taking advantage of either Devour or Restoration as well, since you can easily get killed by the ads while running. Now, let's take a closer look on how to actually run. You can choose to start running either on light or dark. We're going to explain as if you were starting on the dark side. You'll do the first dark node and cross to the other side to do the first light node. If you're in a flawless run, he will start doing his hatred while you're crossing to the light side, so you'll need to shoot him while crossing. This will also happen in phase 2 and 3 of running, regardless if you wiped or not. If you've wiped, Nezarec will do his hatred much later in the phase, so you'll be stunning him and shooting shoulders after doing the first light node. There are also some bugs to consider when dealing with Nezarec, so let's take a look at them. Sometimes, shooting the chests shows damage numbers, but he isn't stunned, so you should be paying attention to him instead of the damage number to see if you've successfully stunned him. If he is in the middle of doing his cleave spinning animation, shooting shoulders won't count and it will not show the color. You should always break the shoulders only if he is outside of this animation. Since we know bugs and glitches, let's take a look at what happens next in the phase. After shooting his shoulder and figuring out what the refuge color is, you should go to the opposite side of the color. So for example, if his refuge is dark, you should stay on light side and do nodes. If it's light refuge, you'll go back to the dark side to do the nodes. Once you arrive at the side you need, you'll do 2 nodes, grab the buff, and cross to the other side to make refuge. Once you make the refuge, you can start running the nodes on that side now. Pay attention to when Nezarec starts glowing. Once he does, get the refuge and continue running the nodes on that side. After the wipe mechanic, he will teleport back to the top side of the arena. Once he does, you should be standing somewhere where there's no ads so you don't get flinched. Shoot his shoulders and chest. You'll repeat the same process again, run the nodes depending on the refuge and cross to the other side. In the third running phase, you'll only be stunning him since there is no refuge mechanic. It's extremely important to finish the light side nodes first because you'll want him to follow you to the dark side where you'll be doing damage. Once you're about to finish the final light node, you'll want to swap to the ammo loadout. Depending on the class, there is different pre-damage setup and damage rotation, so let's take a look at how it plays out for all 3 classes. For Warlocks, there are 2 ways on how you can do pre-damage setup. The first and the easier is to collect the special ammo to full reserves, finish the final dark node, and jump down to wait for damage phase. The other one involves using Felwinters Helm finishers in order to debuff Nezarec to additional 30% instead of the 15% you'd get using a Void Grenade. After you finish the final dark node, you'll want to melee a red bar ad and finisher it. Doing this finisher will make every ad around you suppressed, which will make it easier for you to lower down and finisher the Colossus. Once you lower down the Colossus, finish him, and this will apply the 30% debuff to Nezarec. During this animation, you'll want to swap to your Merciless loadout, and after the finisher, quickly run under the final dark node and get ready for damage. While you're waiting here, you can take a look at Nezarec's coffin. Once it starts glowing, that means the damage is about to begin. You should make your way just below the final dark node, where you'll be standing to do damage. First, we're going to damage with Merciless, so kill an ad to proc impetus. Before reloading, throw your grenade as far to the right as you can in order to debuff Nezarec. If you've done Felwinters Finisher, you'll want to throw this grenade after dumping the first mag of Merciless. You will now start dumping Merciless, but make sure to kill at least 1 ad during the mag dump to reproc impetus for the next mag. Repeat this until you're out of Merciless ammo, and pop an Empowering Rift. While you're in the animation of popping it, quickly swap to your rocket or GL damage loadout. You'll want to shoot a shot of Witherhoard and shoot 2 rockets. Reload the rocket, shoot Witherhoard, shoot with secondary, and pop Nova Bomb. After this, keep rocket dumping until the damage phase stops. In the third damage phase, where you'll be going to final stand, try pushing him with Merciless to the threshold. If you don't have ammo or it wasn't enough, swap to your rocket damage loadout, but don't pop your Empowering Rift or Nova Bomb, since you want those for the final stand. Once you hit the threshold, pop your Empowering Rift and do the regular rocket rotation until he is dead. For Hunters, after swapping to your ammo loadout, you'll want to go around the arena and collect ammo until you have max special reserves. After that, finish the final dark node and jump down under the node. You'll want to wait around 6 to 8 seconds and pop your golden gun and swap to your Merciless loadout. While you're waiting here, you can take a look at Nezarec's coffin. Once it starts glowing, that means the damage phase is about to begin. You should make your way just below the final dark node where you'll be standing to do damage. Throw a healing nade at your feet and kill an ad with your knife. Make sure to kill the ad because you need to get the knife back. Shoot Nezarec's shoulder with golden gun and kill an ad with Merciless to proc impetus. You will now start dumping Merciless, but make sure to kill at least 1 ad during the mag dump in order to reproc impetus for the next mag. Once you're out of Merciless ammo, shoot him with your primary for bait and switch and fire 2 rockets. You'll want to move to the left wall as much as you can since you'll be using Radiant Dance Machines to spam dodge into the wall and fire rockets. After a dodge, if your character moves up slightly, you should walk backwards. If you happen to fall down, jump up and try to recover the damage rotation. This rotation is pretty difficult, so don't worry if you mess up. It takes a bit of practice to get it down. In the third damage phase, where you'll be going into final stand, don't pop Golden Gun since you'll need it later. There are 2 final stand rotations and we'll go over both of them. It's up to you to choose which one you want to go with depending on how your damage is and how many loadout swaps you want to do. The first rotation requires you to do good damage and push the threshold to final stand with Merciless. This rotation is much easier compared to the other one and it has less loadouts. Shoot a shot at Widowhorde, throw a knife at him and shoot him with Golden Gun. Shoot 2 rockets, reload, and keep doing the classic bait and switch rotation until he drops dead. In case where you're struggling with damage and you have to push final stand with rockets, you'll be doing this rotation. Rocket him, and once you have 1 rocket left, you'll swap to the tractor cannon loadout and debuff him. You'll pop Golden Gun, swap to Knucklehead Radar, throw a knife at him, and finally, shoot him with it. After this, shoot him with Widowhorde and swap to your Malfeasance loadout and keep shooting him until he drops dead. For tie-ins, after swapping to your ammo loadout, you'll want to go around the arena and collect ammo until you have max special reserves. After that, finish the final dark node and jump down under the node. You'll want to wait around 6 to 8 seconds and swap to your Merciless loadout. While you're waiting here, you can take a look at the Nezarec's coffin. Once it starts glowing, that means the damage phase is about to begin. You should make your way just below the final dark node where you'll be standing to do damage. First, we're going to damage with Merciless, so kill an ad to proc Impetus. Before reloading, throw your grenade as far to the right as you can in order to debuff Nezarec and not kill the ads around him with it. You should also move to the position on the screen where you will pop your bubble that you can go in and out during damage to refresh your damage buff. You will now start dumping Merciless, but make sure to kill at least 1 ad during the mag dump in order to reproc Impetus for the next mag. After the first mag of Merciless, throw your shield melee to reverse the debuff on him. After you're out of Merciless ammo, swap to your rocket damage loadout, throw another grenade at him, and start dumping bait and switch rockets. Once you go into the 3rd damage phase, make sure to save 1 void grenade for final stand. You should also try pushing him with Merciless to the threshold. Once you hit final, just keep dumping bait and switch rockets until he drops dead. And that should be it. Make sure to like and subscribe, since that helps us a lot. You can also support the project by subscribing to Lowman Central Pro on our site, and you'll get awesome benefits in return. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.